YouTube, what it do? I'm your boy Prince. We had to spin the block back around again on the YouTube machine for this very reason. I've been seeing this all week. I seen Ricochet's cute little response to Wrestle-Pa-Loser, given a C grade by ESPN, and his nice little commentary on his tweets, because that's all he knows how to do these days. It's just rage bait and tweet. That's it. So he's saying that All Out 2025 was the better show, y'all. And if you want to read the article, I'll leave the link down below in the comments. I'll pin it right down below. But Ricochet himself trolls again on the social media machine, created more rage bait comments to piss fans off. Ricochet, he knows what he's doing. And as a matter of fact, Tony Khan knows what he's doing too. That's why he won't stop him or anybody on his roster. He won't give them a slap on the wrist for doing things like this, because he embraces this type of behavior. He embraces this type of immaturity, because this is Tony Khan in a nutshell. This is how he presents himself whenever it's things that he didn't like on social media. This is what he would do. So of course he's going to embrace it. He's the leader. It's like a toddler trying to get attention from the big brothers, you know, in this case, the WWE is the big brother and AEW is the little bro. You know, they're the little bro that's getting annoyed and that's going on a tangent right now. Same energy. Same energy here, man. Nothing, no difference. Ricochet, he still misses Paul 3H's Levesque and WWE, whether he wants to admit it to you that way or not, because his actions are proving that. Don't let him fool you. He's miserable in AEW, y'all. He's absolutely miserable. If he wasn't, he wouldn't be up here doing all this. Here's the truth. When people act out like this is a sign of a huge code. 13 matches on an all-out pay-per-view card was overkill. Plain and simple. No matter how good the quality of the matches were. And I will say this, the Edge and Christian tag team match was a good quality match. Them versus FTR, I told you that was going to be the only good match on the card to me. That stood out. I told you. So, other than that, 13 matches in itself is overkill, no matter the quality of the matches. So yeah, this is him coping, man. And I ain't speaking on our boy Adam Cole, man, Edge, which he and I are both sick of AEW at this point.
Man, I can't keep doing this. So I gotta go, man. And I don't know if I'm gonna come back.
You know, I'm with Edge. I agree. You know, in a minute, I'm gonna be like AJ Lee in her Return Raw promo. I'm gonna need some therapy too. You might as well hook me up with one of them therapy sessions right now, because that's the way I feel trying to get through all those pay-per-view matches with a Tony Khan card. That's exactly how I feel. I'm gonna end up having to need therapy after this. Watching Dynamite gives me depression. But anyways, he's hurt, y'all. He's hurting deep down inside. I feel that Paul 3H's, the man with 3H's in his name, never chose him as one of his golden boys. Remember that? Or do we gotta forget? He was never chosen as one of his golden boys for NXT or the main roster. Are we getting somewhere yet? Or is your boy reaching over here? He was a solid mid-card act. That's all he'll ever be, though. I'm serious. His new team that he's so-called linked up with in AEW right now, let's talk about it. They're a 7-6 win-loss record in 2025, for those of you who still care. 7-6. By the very definition, they are jobbers. They are 50-50 booked into oblivion, dog, at this point. Jobbers to the sky. They suck. Plain and simple. Just like you, Ricochet. You suck. They suck, man. Ricochet, does he not understand this? He's a loser in AEW that teamed up with other losers, thinking that overnight, I guess we're all just supposed to think that they're winners just because he's standing next to two guys that look like they're supposed to be winners, but that is far from the case. No, doesn't work that way, Ricochet. Doesn't work that way, Ricochet. You know, it's funny how you talked about them, how he gonna name his faction the Demand. You know, it's funny how he is gonna name his faction the Demand. Right? When the ironic part about it is that he never demanded anything in his life. You kidding me? He can't even demand Samantha to turn around and show those cheeks in the bedroom, I bet. Ricochet is responding to Lollapalooza. But the funny part here is that based on his work throughout the year, the only person getting the F is him. The C for him, it stands for collision. Because that's all what him and his team has been relegated to for the entire 2025. And the team that he's linked up with now, y'all, are the Gates of Agony. Or as I call them, the Gates of Ass. Because when they perform in the ring, that's exactly what they come off as. Trash. Wannabe bloodline, Samoan jobbers, who are the Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu, if you ordered them from, I don't know, Shein or something like that. Who knows? But, guys, let me tell you like this. Ricochet's team having a 7-6 win-loss record, if you still care about that stuff, it's already a bad sign that he's not going nowhere. But yet, I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy every single time when I call this shit out. Wins, losses still matter. Sickos down in the comment section who are just fuming at the mouth to try to read me my rights. You're not going to like the next things I have to say because it'll be all facts. And in the end, I think people will still not see what's right in front of their faces when it comes to Rico-shit. This guy, Rico-shit, is still a joke, but he has the nerve, the audacity to judge another company. He's got this weird ex-girlfriend syndrome when it comes to WWE. They still live rent-free in the back of this dude's head. Nothing he's done in AEW has become substantial at all after his matches. After every last one of his matches, nothing serious or nothing that's going to hook you into the next show comes out of his matches. So what's Ricochet over here talking about? Yeah, he was in his trios match at All Out, but that didn't mean shit. Nobody cared. He was shoved in the undercard. Ricochet will forever be coping until he eventually returns back to the feds and is offered that sweet Saudi money that everybody keeps talking about. I want him to be serious. I wanted Ricochet, to have a new lease on life when he first got there to AEW. I even wrote out the plans for them. I said, hey, have Ricochet, be a serious contender to be in the Hurt Syndicate. Everything that happened could have still happened. But yet, they chose not to go with it. Ricochet got clowned out by the Hurt Syndicate. As a matter of fact, he got knocked the fuck out by MVP maybe about a week or so ago. So nothing has changed. He still comes across and is still seen as a joke. I gave them Ricochet's booking, man. I said, all you have to do is after he was clowned by the Hurt Syndicate, all they had to do was after he turned heel on Swerve, come back, let the Hurt Syndicate acknowledge him, let them realize that he is somebody serious that could be taken and seen as a threat. But no, as usual, Tony Khan, the snowman, had to go in another direction. MVP, Hurt Syndicate, they could have looked at him, they could have said, we can look at him like a Cedric Alexander. Or like a secret weapon in our group. But no. Tony Khan always has to do things his way. And what happens when he does things his way? What happens when he doesn't listen to me and you? What happens when he goes and does his own thing? Well, you get Ricochet buried on Collision. The C for him stands for collision. Because that's all him and his team have been relegated to. Trust me, he's light years better as a heel. I will give you that. But he still needs some work to do on his character. I'm glad he changed the character up. I'm glad he switched it up. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But there's still a whole lot of work to do on Ricochet before he thinks he can just go yapping off at the mouth. And then that other part where he mentioned WWE is supposed to be a TV show, but how is it on sport? Man, please miss me with that. Tony Khan was the very first person that came out the gates when AEW was made and said they were going to be way more sports-centric like. Stop with the bullshit. But yet, they transitioned over just to the wrestling, which was okay with us. Why would they even want to be a sport anyways? Ricochet, did you forget about that one factoid? That Tony Khan came right out of the gates saying that he wanted his product to feel more sports-centric with the win-loss record in the beginning. Did you forget? I didn't. Listen, objectively speaking, Ricochet's run has been nothing but a flop. He was in there against Will No Spray, Swerve Strickland. I mean, they put him in there against two of the highest names in the company. And yet, when the stars shine the brightest, under the bright lights, he still couldn't manage. Ricochet still couldn't get his shit together. He still couldn't gain anything substantial from those feuds. It went nowhere. Tony Khan dropped the ball, just like he does with every other storyline. He dropped the ball, man. We never got that thing that makes you care about the next thing he was involved in coming out of any one of his matches. Never. We never got that. He's only been the $30 Temu version of Will No Spray. His encounter with the Hurt Syndicate, awful. He was treated like a scrub, choked up at one point, knocked out months later. Dude was jobbed out for months. Can you really call what he's been doing a success, though? He succeeded in changing his character a little bit, yeah, but can you really call what he's been doing a success if he's still shoved down the bottom of the card? He's barely featured on Dynamite, because to me, that would sound like he's still very much, what's that word? Mid. So yeah, that's all I got to say about Ricochet, man. He's the last one that should be talking. Instead of going to Tony Khan's office trying to convince him that he's the one and only, nope, all he has time to do these days is cry on social media, whine, complain, troll folks for the most part. That's really why he's on there anyway, just to troll people. And to cope. Ricochet can be spending that same amount of time he spends on social media actually trying to perfect his craft, both character-wise and even in-ring, because he's still doing the exact same thing. But let me ask y'all this. Let me ask you this. If someone is doing the exact same thing, got the exact same move, got the exact same move set, has the same interests, same interest theme, then have they really changed? Or is it just disguised as lazy booking? Have they really been a success? I don't know. You tell me. But let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Ricochet is still a bum, and that's pretty much all I got. We out this bitch. See you.